Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this video and welcome to the Haves and the Have-Nots review here on YouTube. If you're a fan of Tyler Perry, you've come to the right place. Be sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also check me out on these social media platforms, and links in the description below will lead you to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group, and Facebook page. Once again, thanks for joining in and enjoy the video. Have and have not fans, I think I have cracked the code. I feel like this is solid evidence above all else, because I don't think anybody else has ever talked about this before. Now, I'm recording this video at 2:37 a.m. on Monday morning, letting you know that I should have my behind in bed, but I could not sleep because this theory, it just popped out of nowhere. It was definitely a blessing. And before I go any further, now there will be somewhat of an introduction into this video. Let me say first off, my latest giveaway contest did end Sunday at 5 p.m. I read through the comments. I want to thank everybody who participated in the contest. Pretty much the game was, hey, in the comments below, try and convince me why you feel that Candace should keep the money. Or, get the money, because it's technically not in her possession right now. And I said the number one comment would get $20. And if I found two other solid comments, I give them $10 each. I found three. One person will get 20, one person will get 10, and the other one will get 10. I will admit I was not convinced. Nobody was able to convince me to actually say that Candace should get the money, but there were some pretty solid comments and I feel they should be rewarded. So hang tight until the end of the video, and I'm going to reveal who these three people are. And I mean, if you skip ahead to the end of the video, technically you could do that, but I feel like this video topic is one you do not want to skip over. And real quick before I get into the actual subject of the video, I just want to thank God because, since the show is about to end within the next 16th, 23rd, we got 4 more episodes, 3 before the finale. So we got 4 episodes left. I'm like, oh man, okay, I'm going to be good money wise until the show returns in January. But it's like, I don't want the channel to decrease a lot in terms of income because Black Friday's coming up, people. And I was praying for an idea for a video that would be a hit. And I think I got it. I was actually in the process of getting on Facebook, sharing around a video that hadn't gotten a lot of views. I think it was the one about, is David still in love with Veronica? And while I was sharing it, it just popped in my head. David is the key. Now, let me get into the topic because I don't want to try your patience, but this video, I feel like I finally cracked the code. And I am now 100% certain, no more doubt, I'm 100% sure that Derrick is Candace's father. Now, before going any further, like, Jeremy, this is old news. You've done like 10 videos on the channel about it. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. I've done videos about, is Derrick the man with the lion tattoo? Is Derrick Candace's father? Derrick is, in all caps, Candace's father. But in all of those videos, there was one key piece of evidence I never thought about and I never mentioned until tonight. Now, in the show, the Haves and the Have-Nots, if you've been watching since season 1 to the present, you know it's no secret that Tyler Perry has a knack for stringing us on in terms of creating a bunch of storylines that are tangled and weaved together. And then sometimes he recycles plot lines. Like, for example, one character's in a coma for like half of a season. Next thing you know, another character is in the same boat. A person's in jail. Somebody blackmailed or extorted money from another person. And then the cycle continues. But sometimes there is a situation where two characters, and remember how we always talked about how recycled dialogue, I even did a video about that. I feel like this is recycled dialogue, but in a good way. What I'm saying is, and if you have watched since season 1, or if you just started watching the older episodes on Hulu, you will probably remember this one scene early. I don't remember the episode, but early, and I know somebody in the comments will tell me. It was back after Benny got arrested for driving Candace's sports car. And at the time, David was trying to get rid of Candace because she was going to ruin any chance they had of winning the governor's mansion. So after getting the $100,000 in the red sports car she blackmailed from Jim, he had drugs planted in the car. So when she got pulled over by that detective, well, basically the detective got the cop to pull over the car. The drugs were in there, meaning that Candace could be put away for good. But Benny was the one that took the fall because he borrowed the car to take Darcy, the nice girl from church, aka Marcy from If Loving You Is Wrong. This was before If Loving You Is Wrong. And he was placed in jail. David was like, I told you it was a she. And it's like after that, he was like, well, that's Candace's brother, Hannah's son. Maybe this isn't so bad after all. And then as the episodes go on, Hannah is clearly upset that her son's in jail, and she was trying to do whatever it took in order to get some legal assistance. I think she even said, like, I took out all my savings, I sold jewelry and whatnot. And, David was like, not to belittle you, but to get even an hour's time with some of these people is thousands of dollars. And Hannah only had a few hundred or a little over 1,000. And I think she even said, like, how long? Dave was like, how long you been waiting in outside in the hallway for me since this morning? Like, this was like, she was desperate. She was trying to do everything she could in order to get assistance to get Benny out of jail. They went to what do you call it? Is it called the chambers or office? Pretty much where a judge goes, like, for their workstation or whatever. Basically where they hang up their robe. And Hannah was like, yeah, Catherine gave me your phone number. That was my office number or whatever. I forgot the exact dialogue, but pretty much, Hannah was trying to get help from the very people that were working against her. And what really made this scene for me is like, I think she had went to visit Benny multiple times. And, at some point he even had a black eye because it got into a fight. And she was talking to David, and he was like, well, I will contact you as soon as I learn something. And it's like, can you, oh, and can you make sure he gets some blankets because it's cold in there? And I'm not mocking her. This is how she was sounding because she was a desperately concerned mother. And basically, you're like, will you pray with me? And like Dave was resistant, but next thing you know, she takes his hands, like, and she gives one of the best performances. I mean, like, people talk about her reaction to Quincy Jr.'s death, which indeed was powerful, but during the early episodes of The Haves and the Have-Nots, this was definitely a standout scene. Hannah goes into prayer mode, and during the prayer, and again, this is all about protection for Benny to get the truth out, work against all the people working against them. And David, once again, she's holding hands and praying with the very man responsible for putting her son behind bars, and he is breaking down in tears, crying. And during that prayer, or afterwards, that's when he goes to Jim. I think the next episode is like, I don't think Hannah has anything to do with this, because at the time Jim was convinced, and David, that Hannah had well, it was pretty much a setup. Hannah works with the criers. Candace extorts and blackmails Jim. It's all like a family scheme, but that's not the case. And then Jim was rightfully pissed off. Wait. So you're telling me that she had nothing to do with this when you're the one that brought me this information? Well, I'm not sure anymore. And it's like, well, that's her daughter. She's never brought it to our attention before. Well, look at Candace. I deny her being my daughter too. So basically, flip to season five, I think it was this year. Basically when David was trying to get Jeffrey out of jail, he showed up in front of Hannah's house, and your son needs to turn himself in for the murder of Quincy Maxwell. And basically, Hannah was just like, you're only wanting my son to get arrested so you can get Jeffrey out, and he had nothing to do with the murder. And basically, that's when Hannah's like, David's like, you're a Christian woman, and the truth shall set you free. It's like, I know you ain't trying to go gospel on me back. And she didn't say these words, but back during season 1, when I was praying with you to help my son get out of jail, and you were crying, I thought you were feeling the Holy Spirit, but really the Holy Spirit was convicting you because you were guilty, because you're the one that put him behind bars in the first place. So remember, let's break it down. Basically, we go back to season 1. Benny is in a bind. Hannah is doing whatever she can to get him out of jail, and that leads to a powerful prayer with a man that she believes could help her out and help out Benny. During the prayer, the emotions and the Holy Spirit was flowing, and David, being the reason for this woman's tears, is brought to tears himself. And in the end, the truth is revealed, being that he was the one that actually was responsible for putting Benny behind bars. Now let's flip to season 5. We're talking Derrick now. And we're talking about the one scene that has had a lot of people going, that's it. He's the one that raped her. I mean, the way he was crying and whatnot. I did a full video on that. And it didn't occur to me until now that this scene with Derrick crying during the prayer that he's leading for Hannah, because at the time, you know, she was like, I don't even think I can pray for her anymore, because at the time she knew she knew the burglar was there to get money because Candace owed him. And basically, you know, she was like, I don't think I have it in me to pray for her anymore. It's not working. And then Derrick's like, well, the two of us can pray. And then during the prayer, he's the one that gets broken down and convicted. He's the one that breaks down and cries, because this is right after, you know, well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, he starts tearing up after Hannah explains that tonight really reminded her of the night she got raped. And because of that, it's like, you shouldn't have went through that. And it's like, let me help you carry some of this burden. And then he goes into the prayer, and then he starts breaking down too. So much so that Hannah has to console him. Now, what's the similarities here, folks? The first prayer was one for Benny, basically a child of Hannah. The second prayer, the one with Derrick, was a prayer for another child of Hannah, being Candace. The male characters involved in the prayer end up breaking down. I'm not saying, because remember, I'm not just saying that to point him out, but remember, Hannah was crying in both scenes as well. But really, aside from her tears, the one person being called out by the fans is the male character, David, because as an audience, we knew he was guilty. We knew he was the reason Benny was locked up. Season 5, we don't know for sure, but I'm just saying that Derrick is crying not only because he feels for Hannah, but remember, he had a spiritual turnaround in his life. So it is possible that he could have been involved with murder, rape, burglary, and whatnot in his past, which could have led to him being locked up in the first place. So him sitting there with a victim of a horrendous act that he possibly participated in when he was younger definitely brought back memories and welled up feelings inside of him. So I think that it is possible that this one scene is connected to the one scene we got in season 1. So Derrick and David and Derrick both crying during prayers with Hannah. So David's crying during the prayer turned out to be the truth in terms of he was being convicted for something he had done. Derrick could be in a similar situation, and ironically enough, wouldn't you say it would be interesting if they ended up praying for their own daughter? So, ladies and gentlemen, if my theory is 100% correct, then hey, that's awesome. But on top of that, that shows Tyler Perry is one heck of a writer. If he recreated a scene from season 1, but just intensified the stakes. In season 1, it was about false evidence being placed, person wrongfully arrested. But in season 5, we're talking about getting cozy with the very man that raped you. But I think that in both prayers, it was a matter of redemption. Like, even though David was never 100% a good character, I mean, he was technically, season 1 was during my blogging days. I remember doing a blog where I literally said that David is my favorite character on the show. I tweeted that to Peter Paros, and he said that was a great read. Thank you very much. And I appreciate that. And he got redeemed because he found out. Remember, even though Hannah didn't find out the truth about Benny's arrest at the time, that revealed the truth to David that Hannah had nothing to do with whatever schemes that Candace was running. Then we move into season 5. We get this prayer led by Derrick, leading him to be broken down. And to the audience, that possibly let us know the truth about his past life. Maybe not in full detail, but guys, I'm convinced. I mean, like, again, I thought of this at the random. I never thought about this connection before, because when you really think about it, when Derrick broke down and cried, it was like the haves and have-nots internet fandom broke. Like, we were all like, what's he crying for? And I talked about in my video about how a man to break down and cry like that is a man that God brought through some stuff. So that lets you know right there, for a man who's trying to be strong for, you know, not his woman, because they're not technically together, but the woman he is interested in, to actually be that vulnerable to cry in front of her, that means he's definitely went through some stuff in his past. So with that being said, guys, I am truly convinced that Derrick is the man with the lion tattoo. He is the man that raped Hannah. He is Candace's father. And I feel like if Tyler Perry truly connected powerful prayer scenes from season 1 and season 5 that involved Hannah's children, one being Benny and one being Candace, boom, there you go. So let me know what you think of this theory, because once again, like I said, we've all talked about it. I've done plenty of videos on Derrick being the father, but I feel like this evidence is stone cold solid. And a Cold Stone is an ice cream place, so technically it is solid ice cream until it melts. But it is hard facts and evidence. That's what I think. So let me know your thoughts on this. Please, please share this video around. And I want to get as many views on this as possible. If there are any stars watching, if Derrick's watching, if Hannah's watching, if David's watching, if Candace, Benny, and Tyler Perry are watching, please let a brother know. It won't be spoiling if you tell me I'm right. I'm telling you, because I broke it down like a fraction. So with that being said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And now we'll get to the contest winners. For the first $10 gift card, we got Thought Provoking, aka Chandler. You win $10. Da-da. The second $10 card to Geneva. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I ain't got time to put in a drum roll. I gotta get this video out quick. And now for the $20 grand prize winner, we have Miss Terry. Okay, there you go. So Chandler, Geneva, you win $10 each, and $20 goes to Terry. Now what you'll want to do, hit me up on my Instagram. I'm pretty sure that you all follow me on Instagram. There is a link to my Instagram in the description below. Follow me, the HAHN Review. DM me your mailing address, and I will get those Walmart cards out to you by the end of the week. It is homecoming at Liberty University for alumni, so I'm going to go give me some free stuff. So I'll definitely make a trip to Walmart and the post office later this week. So congratulations to the 3 winners. And once again, folks, let me know what your thoughts are on this theory, and keep your eyes on the channel. There's no telling when I'm going to do another contest again. I really do enjoy this. It is a fun way of giving back a little token of appreciation to the fans who have supported me. And one last thing before I ended the video, it is Monday, meaning that in 2 days on the 17th, that will mark 1 year since I left my job at a call center to pursue YouTube full time. So might do something special for that. We'll just have to wait and see. So again, let me know your thoughts on this theory. If any of the cast members are watching, please hit me up online. Tell me I'm right or wrong. I really didn't. I never thought of this before. And that's, hey, if there's anything else, it's the power of prayer, meaning that that's the power of plot in terms of the power of the haves and the have-not story. Candace's father is Derrick. If Derrick isn't the guy, then my gosh, I am in need of having have-not rehab like Wyatt is with drugs. I'm going to break. Like mentally, my brain will snap if I've done all this research and it turns out he's not the guy. But either way, Derrick is a great character. Love him on the haves and the have-nots. To all the stars who are watching, which I hope you are, I love you on the show. Take care, and remember, guys, subscribe to the channel.